Hey everyone, it's Brendon Payne with Century 21, the Harrelson Group, and thank you for clicking on this quick video where I wanted to just give you a little bit more insight into what we're seeing right now in the market. Obviously, we still are in a real strong seller's market here. You're going to see from the information, the link that I have for our mid-year report, that there's a lot of really good things happening in here for the sellers, and the buyers are also, very motivated when they're coming into this market. They're usually know what they're looking for, and when they find it, they're moving very quickly. So a couple of things I just wanted to highlight that are in the report, and then you can take a look and dive in and look at what's specifically important to you. But a couple of things to take note of. Overall, believe it or not, sales are down a little bit from same period of last year. But you remember, there was a period of time where we had all the hotels and we had all the condos and everything shut down. So there wasn't even a place for people to stay for a period of time along the Grand Strand if they were coming from more than a couple hours away. So when you look at the year in whole, to be only down transaction-wise about 7%, that's actually pretty strong. And that's an indicator of how quickly things open back up once we started to move around a little bit more and some of the restrictions and stuff were lifted. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Also, look at the residential inventory. Residential inventory right now is down almost 8% compared to same time last year. That means the residential single-family detached homes are high demand, and there's also, so when they're coming on the market, they're selling quickly, and there's also fewer of them for sale. So not everybody is out there just testing the market. Motivated sellers, they're on the market selling, and a lot of other people have put their plans on hold for a period of time, which means less inventory for the people that are on the market themselves to be competing with. So in a seller's market, that's really good. Also, you'll note that condo inventory is up just slightly, but really most of the condo stuff, a lot of the things along the ocean front are very active. Buyers are coming in. Now, this is the time of year where we start to see inventory build in the fall, because a lot of these units, people have held them and want to collect the rental income. So if somebody's thinking about making a move on something along the ocean front or one of the short-term rental programs, now's the time to be figuring out where things are at in the market, to be able to avoid that large inventory rise that we typically see with condos. Also, new listings, I mentioned that a minute ago, are down quite a bit here in the market. And so again, that's less competition. When you have good demand, less competition, it's a great thing for the sellers. And then the average sale price. Average sale price in our market for all transactions is up almost 8% for the year. So that's always nice to see when you are a property owner here in the Grand Strand. So a couple of things that we're watching though. Of course, inventory is low. Interest rates are low. We had a lot of people at the beginning of the year that maybe they were thinking of selling, never hit the market because they're kind of waiting things out. And then you had some people that were on the market for a while. And then when COVID started, they decided to take their properties off the market. Inventory is interesting because it always seems to find a level. So when there's a ton of it, then usually over time it's absorbed and we start to even out. When there isn't any inventory, then usually it starts to even out because people believe, all right, this is a really strong market, and I anticipate at some point, we're watching very closely, that the inventory levels could rise from where they're at right now. But that's one of the things over the next 3 or 4 months to the end of the year that we're really going to be keeping a close eye on. Also, days on market is still really low. Now, that you're going to see in there, the days on market is deceiving because there's a couple things. You have properties that are a lot of new construction goes in there on the MLS before it even comes out of the ground. So then when it sells 6 months later, you have an inflated number. There's also some other things in there that kind of give you a different picture. Here's the reality. It's a lot of properties right now that we're putting on the market, and they're selling well under that average days on market, sometimes in the first few days, sometimes in the first 30 days, and many times with multiple offers and selling close to or at full price. So the numbers don't always tell the whole story on the big picture. So if you're looking at something specifically, your neighborhood, your condo complex, really important, call me and let me dig in and find out what's going on specifically in theirs, because there's different pockets that look much different than the overall big picture in the market. And the last thing I was going to let you know about was just in general right now, the feel, like where are the buyers coming from and what's the feel? Buyers are coming in right now and they're finding the properties that they want and making moves quickly. So, and we're able to typically negotiate a little bit higher price because in a lot of areas, what they're looking for, there's not 8 more of them for the buyer to go choose from. You know, they kind of, in markets where you've got a nice home in a nice community, but there's 7 other nice homes in 3 other communities around that area, then the buyer kind of has some leverage because the seller knows those are out there, and then they can go and put in an offer somewhere else. Right now, it's handled correctly. There's a lot of ways that we're able to get the seller the leverage in the transactions. And so that means being able to get them better terms and typically better prices. So if you're thinking about making any moves, I would say in the next 12 to 18 months, definitely look and see what's happening now. Call me, and I'm happy to update you on what's going on in your neighborhood and the surrounding areas, so you have a good picture of whether or not does it make more sense to kind of wait for a while or to go ahead and look at taking advantage of some of the market activity that's happening right now. Thanks so much for watching this quick video. Hope you enjoy the report. Let me know how I can help you in the future. Thanks a lot.